Okay guys, so this is Asif, you're watching the Tech Tipper channel, and this is the Hohem iStedy Multi. Multi means it supports multiple cameras such as the smartphone cameras. So you can put your smartphone on, and if you have got something like this point and shoot camera, this is Sony ZV-1 by the way, pretty good camera and pretty good stabilization on this one as well. But when you combine it with a gimbal, you get extremely nice footage, smooth footage. And you can also use action cameras, so you can use three different kind of devices, three different kind of cameras on the iStedy Multi. And as you've seen the unboxing, you have seen what other things are available in the box. There is a small tripod thread which you can tie it. At the bottom there is a tripod thread, so you can also put it on your existing tripod if you want a certain height. And then there is an adapter for action cameras as well as an adapter for smartphone as well. And there is a Manfrotto plate along with two thumb screws which you can use to tie your point and shoot cameras on the plate, and then you can put it on the gimbal. And you also get a cable which is exclusively for Sony point and shoot cameras such as the Sony ZV-1. It also works with this one and the RX100, all those series. So you can use the Sony cable and attach your Sony cameras to the gimbal so that you can use the functions like the zoom in, zoom out, use the record button. You can turn on and turn off the recording and take photos as well using the buttons. Okay, so I forgot to talk about the app, Hohem App, which you can install from the Play Store or the App Store, and it is for multiple gimbals from Hohem. So once you have installed and opened, you have to select the iStedy Multi, because this is iStedy Multi, and you get three options. One is smartphone. If you are using the gimbal with a smartphone, you will have to select that option, and if you are using it with point and shoot cameras, you will have to select the other option. And the third option is for the action cameras. So if you are using point and shoot cameras, especially Sony, and you have the cable attached to the gimbal, you will be able to control like start and stop recording remotely using the app. It gives you the controls. It connects to the gimbal via Bluetooth, and that's pretty much it for the point and shoot camera. If you want to use smartphone with the gimbal, then you can select the smartphone option, and it will also give you a camera which gives you features like face tracking. You will be able to track your face, so you can keep the gimbal at one place and you can roam around, and it will try to keep you in the frame. It is not as good as it sounds, and I recommend everyone to use the stock camera on their mobile phones, because the stock camera will have electronic image stabilization as well as the stabilization of the gimbal, which will make the footage even more smoother. And I've also done the field test as well, so I took it to the nearby park to show you the comparisons between the stabilization on the camera and the stabilization you get with the iStedy Multi. So let's go to the park, check out the comparison shots, and we'll come back and talk more about this iStedy. I'm here out to test the gimbal, the Hohem iStedy Multi gimbal, and before that I will simply walk holding the Sony ZV-1. There is stabilization on this camera, and pretty much every point and shoot camera has got some kind of basic stabilization. So this will just to show you how the footage will be without the gimbal, and then I'll be putting it on the gimbal and we can compare both the footage. And now we have the camera on the gimbal and it is balanced. Okay, so now it is turned on, and now I'll be doing a walk, and let's compare both the shots. By the way, the stabilization of the camera is completely turned off, so only the stabilization of the gimbal will be working, and then I'll also turn on the stabilization on the gimbal, and then we will be comparing all the three shots. and see if gimbal makes any difference or not. Okay, so I'll walk again, and this time I will turn on the active stabilization on ZV-1, Sony ZV-1. Now the stabilization is also turned on the camera, and gimbal is stabilizing, so double stabilization, and we'll see the output. Okay, so since we are out here, I also wanted to address one more thing, one more query many people might be having, is that whether or not this gimbal can be used for vlogging purpose. Like the point and shoot camera, when electronic image stabilization is turned on, it crops in a little bit, so it makes it tough for you to keep yourself in frame properly. So many people would like to know whether this gimbal can be a solution or not. Like if they turn off the stabilization on the camera and they use the stabilization of this gimbal, it will also keep the camera a little further away from their face and from themselves, and also will not crop in, so will give them proper framing. While it is good practically, it is not possible because it is camera operated, and you will have to always make sure that it is charged, and it is quite difficult for a vlogger. If you are vlogging out there, you will have to also take care of the battery of this gimbal as well. When you are vlogging, you have to flip the camera out, and then the whole balancing thing will not be working properly, so it is not for vlogging. So I just looked at all the comparisons on my bigger screen, and I can say that it does make a little bit of difference, but it is not as easy. Like using gimbal is not as easy as it sounds. Like some people, this is my first gimbal, and I thought that I'll take it out of the box, put on my camera and start recording smooth footage, but it is very unlikely because you will have to learn a lot of things. You will have to learn the walk, the proper walk, so that you don't get the jerks, because I was pretty conscious when I was walking using the gimbal, but still there were some jerks. So there is going to be a little bit of learning also, and it is not easy. Like if you have to shoot a stabilized footage, you will have to give it time. You will need to have some time to balance the camera, to fix this on the gimbal, and then start recording, and you will have to walk like that to get smooth footage. It is not like it will magically smoothen out all the footage for all the jerks that you get handheld. And the reason I got this gimbal is to shoot some b-rolls. Like I review some products, then I have to take some smooth shots, and I don't have any slider or dolly or wheels or anything like that because I like to keep it minimal. So I used to take those shots handheld, and they were kind of not that smooth. I was able to get them smooth out using the stabilization in the software, in the editing software, but it was still missing that buttery smooth, and I thought I will get that using this gimbal, but I think I will have to learn a bit of it. Anyways, I'll keep using it and keep learning about how to take smooth footage, because it seems it requires a bit of learning curve, at least for the first timers like me. And it is also not that expensive. It is pretty cheap. I mean, $149 on Amazon.com. So anyone can grab them for their point and shoot cameras. But if you're looking a gimbal for your smartphone, then there are other cheaper alternatives available. Even the Hohem iStedy has got a gimbal for smartphones, and that is even cheaper, like $100, $80 I think. So you can check that out as well. And this is strictly for multiple devices, so mainly suitable for point and shoot cameras, especially the Sony ones, because you get a cable and then you will be able to control like start recording and use the zoom function using the controls on the gimbal. So this is it. This is my first gimbal and I will be using it from now on, or maybe not that much. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. You can thumbs up if you liked it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I keep making videos like this to make your tech life easy. So I'll see you in the next one. Till then,